fired up over there on Twitter and X. So we are on the Twitter X, we're on the YouTube, we're on the Rumble, wherever you is, am, and be. Smash all the things, do all the things, do all the liking things. I've been doing a lot of pre-showing today. As you know, I got that weaponized ADHD, so I'm telling all these people out there, while I'm trying to afuera all the stuff onto X and try to aggregate things on X, at the same time, I'm also trying to pre-show and put this together for you guys. There's so much going down. So we're going to play this again for the beginning. I'm going to try to shut my yap while we do it. Here we go.
I love you. God, I love you.
Liberals and illegal.
Here we go. I got you, brother.
And here comes
no,
me, a U.S.-born Hispanic. Bye! Out you go, Pedro. Love it. Oh, that is just so good. That is just so good. Yeah, and it's true. That clip was about as off the fucking hook and off the chain as our production meetings in the morning between me, Newton, Aaron. Let's just say, we discussed Aaron's arms today in the most unsavory way. Yeah. We were meanses. Let's just say that, yeah, there was discussion about Majus. That's correct, Russ. So you can talk about Majus today. Because what went down last night, I read and found out they fucked around a lot. And they finally found out, you know, it's just like all these immigrants here. You know, when you got the legal Hispanic migrant coming up and saying, you know what? Afuera. With the wood, afuera. So Israel popped up and is pushing Iran's nuclear capability out of the game too. I like it. I respect it. You know, like I said, and we did not have to get involved. So all of you guys are like, but Jews, they want me to die for Israel. Really? How many Americans were involved in those strikes? Zero. How many? Anyone else except for the Jews? No one. They did it on their own. I'm like, good. That's the kind of energy I want. You take care of you. You do you. You keep these crazy lunatics at bay. I understand that. I see that you're taking slings and arrows, you know. Oh, okay, you do that. But what I don't like is American Jews here being so antithetical to that thought process. They hate America as well. I don't understand that. These leftist, atheist, non-synagogue going Jews are here telling us that we're evil, white, and supreme. And I'm like, you know, you're not the same as the Israelis. You do know that they're more conservative than you are. They're actually synagogue-going, temple-going Jews. And you people here are, what are you, Hanukkah Jews, as Aaron says? Yeah. So no, they're like ginos, Jews in names only. So I'm like, fuck those people. But I like completely understand that. So yeah. Mitty says, is the camera working? No. Camera, no. No, right now we got an AI max headroom replacement for a while. It's a new system, but the system doesn't like my old camera, and I got to save up for a new one. So we're going to do this for a little minute. I do have to say. But yeah, of course, Iran it's been threatening the United States, and they're saying we're going to nuke the United States, death to America. Aaron laid it on the line for you. And I say afuera with the 2x4 to Iran and the nuclear capability, the same as I say to the illegal immigrants. This should not be this shouldn't be rocket surgery here. It just really shouldn't be rocket surgery. So that would open that up with you. The liberals trying to hold on to the illegal migrants. They're going out and defying and trying to actually do shit like this. Here we go. A mob of Mexican nationalists and leftist migrants have surrounded the DoubleTree Hotel in Whittier, Los Angeles, over rumors that the National Guardsmen or DHS officers are staying there. The mob shouts, "Chinga la migra." It's a vulgar slang for, like, you know, fook ice. I got to be careful because of YouTube. But here they go. Thank you, Andy No. Andy No does great work. I mean, like, hey, he's a gay Asian guy. Why would you support him? What are you, gay and Asian? No, that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. No, we do appreciate the $10 rocks, and we appreciate the Magay Asian. No, F you with Magay Asians. I don't give a shit. This guy's doing good work here. It's not like he's some neon. I see these assholes posting things from neo-Nazi accounts, open neo-Nazi accounts, and then you say optics do matter, but you're telling me that it's okay for you to share something from an evil white supreme pizza account that says death to the Jews. And a good example. I just saw someone, an evil white supreme as always. He's a Mexican LARPing as a white supremacist by actuality. When you take a look at him, you're like, what the hell? You're a Mexican. What the hell are you screaming white supremacy for? Anyhow, that guy, he posted something from an account on Gab called White Rabbit. Now, there's two White Rabbits that I know of on X. One is the White Supreme Pizza masquerading as a normie to get you to come to his Gab, where he then reveals he's a white nationalist, swastika, 1488, kill the Jews kind of person. And this fella posted from that guy's open neo-Nazi version on Gab. He reposted that in this special little group that are my super duper super fans. My haters are all a bunch of Nazis. I don't give a fuck that I piss off Nazis. More hate, more Nazi hate. I don't care. So this guy posts over there. He called Trump Cheeto. He called Trump a Cheeto Jew because Trump was softening his stance on something that he didn't like. I'm like, really? This is where these people think. These are the people that scream, "We're MAGA. We're Trump. We're America first." But Trump's really a Cheeto Jew. It was the most bizarre thing I saw. And I was like, wow, maybe optics and sources do matter. So if you're going to critique me for sharing Andy No, a gay Asian dude, hey, fuck you. When was the last time gay Asian dudes were throwing people, into death camps? When was the last time you saw that? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh my God. So I'll let this continue. Yeah. So optics do matter. Here we go. This is stolen. So here is the La Raza. Again, racist. I just can't stand the fucking racism. We see La Raza. Well, I probably busted that on YouTube. I dropped another F-bomb way too early in the morning to F, and oofs. But this stuff pisses me off. This is stolen land. And they got all the Mexican flags, and they got the I want to kill the Jews scarf thing on too. The Khalifa, whatever they want to call that crap. I just called it, I hate the Jews. I hate the Jews scarf. That's what I see. And then you have this is stolen land. We're going to take it back over. Da, 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 da. And then you can almost hear the soul of the mayors of these cities dying when they say, gee, how do we negotiate the reconquista? In other words, the reconquest, the reclaiming of this land for Mexico. And not only is that happening, it's a racist group of people out here with useful idiot white people. Sad to say there's some useful idiot Jews in the crowd too, probably with the bullhorns leading the crowd thinking they're being good people. It's just the way it is. And at the same time, Israelis are shaking their head going, what the fuck? Good to see you, B-Money Gaming, coming into the morning. We're coming out. Yeah, we're going to be spicy today. It's going to be spicy. So as you know, we do the follow-up show to the Aaron Prager Show on Mondays and Fridays. These are our Monday and Friday, our bookend shows. We do our Tuesdays and Thursday shows, 7:30 p.m. for about 3 hours. And Thursdays, Thursday Thunderdome, all music all the time. Thank you guys for the love and support. We're going to go ahead and update the ticker tape. As you see, we have a ticker tape about how close we are. So we got update up. We're now at 875 due to the $20 gifts this morning, donations today. We appreciate that. We are at 875 of a 900 goal, 8.75. We're only 25 away from the 900 goal. And then ask me what happens when we get to 900. Ask me what happens when we get to 900 in the chat, and you'll find out. I do appreciate that. So you got, not only do you got this group of racists being led by idiotic Americans of all flavors. There's whites, blacks, browns, Jews, Asians, you know, people that think that they have, anyone that has a bone to pick. There's trans people out here. There's gay people out here. They hate Andy Ngo. These people, if they knew Andy Ngo was there, they hit him in the head. A bunch of Antifa, who white people attacked. I'll strip live on air. Get fucked out of here. No, will never happen. No, seriously, I'll do a stream in the nude. Actually, I will do that for you. I will not, because I'm not a hoe. Dollar do not make me holla. Well, it does make me holla, but it doesn't make me wag my kangly ding dong ling long. My third leg will not be appearing on camera. Anyhow, Andy Ngo was hit in the head by a milkshake full of quick fucking set concrete by Antifa. He got a brain hemorrhage. They gave him a brain bleed. They hit him in the head with a McDonald's cup that was filled full of concrete. See, they can walk around with this heavy weapon, but looks like a cup. It's one of their tactics. They have meetings, Antifa, useful fucking idiots of all flavors. If you squint hard enough, you'll see a Jewish kid there. You'll see maybe one or two black kids. All the rest are liberal white fucks. All the rest are these what do you call them? These liberal types. They're in the cult, you know. They're like the affluent white liberal fucks. They're the worst. You know, fat liberal white chicks and their skinny little soy noodle arm boys are in there, and they're talking about how to stab people. They actually had, Steven Crowder caught them on camera handing out ice picks and saying how to stab people covertly in the kidney and the liver and stuff while in crowds so you don't get caught. So you can commit moida without getting caught. He caught them on camera, brought it to the cops, and the cops didn't want to hear it. I'm like, that's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. So, you know, I'm taking a look here, and I'm like, we got to do better at paying attention to these threats. So there's all those kind of people in the crowd. These are people that will do you harm. These are 67%ers. Milgram study will unalive you. We will unalive you because the government says we can. The government says it's okay. You are, awfuls. That's right. Affluent white female liberals. What's that what it is? Awfuls. Yeah. So you got these people, and I'm going to circle back to the whole point. They are basically committing kidnapping by surrounding this DoubleTree and refusing to allow people to leave. There are more people in this hotel. It's a hotel that you, yes, even you, can actually get in. And imagine you were spending your night. Why would you want to go there during this time? But let's say you're retarded enough to go to Los Angeles now and go and stay in this hotel. And then you wake up and the hotel's been mobbed by a bunch of screaming racists with signs screaming "Death to America" and "This is stolen land" and, you know, F white people and everything else that seems to be going on. You're trapped there too, so they're committing kidnapping as well. This is the definition of kidnapping. Kidnapping is preventing someone from leaving an area that they want to leave. It doesn't matter if you throw them in a closet and hold the door shut, you're kidnapping them. If you're standing out in front of their hotel, you think you would walk out. Would you walk outside into this crowd, even if it's just to go to the meeting? You're there for, I don't know, a fart sniffing convention. Don't go to a fart-sniffing convention, everybody. Let's say you're there for a fart-sniffing convention for the Fellowship of Sniffing Farts. And you're there to represent the 411 1711 Legionnaires version of the fart-sniffing convention attendees with the fart hat and everything else. And you're there, and you walk out, and you see these people. You're eating your continental breakfast, and you look out the windows, and you see this. Do you leave? No. You call the conference and say, I can't make it. There's a mob of people out front screaming, this is stolen land, Reconquista la raza, chinga la migra, which means F ICE. They're going to be screaming more stuff. You wouldn't leave. You wouldn't leave. Yes, and it turns out that, selling farts in a jar as a new business, Newt says. People can actually get that. OnlyFans girls apparently allegedly do that. I saw that on Twitter. Oh yeah, revving motorcycle engines, not a form of intimidation. No surprise. Potato-shaped people, multicolored hair colored people, all these people out here screaming into the hotel. Apparently they have it fully surrounded. So there's no escape. You can't go out a back door. You can't go out a side door. They can't chopper you in some pizzas. You're done. You're trapped here. Latinos somos fuertes. Okay. Here, chinga la migra, la la la. It's more. It's so cringe. It's like energy. It's the same thing. These marshmallow and potato people that come out. They're so soft and weak. Again, another person wearing the I want to unalive the Jews scarf on. You see that? But no. They're telling you everything is under control. That's right. Newsom says, and Bass says, you know. Blabbin' poop scum and Karen, appropriately named Karen Buss, say everything is under control. There's no riots. There's been no violence. Remember, Maxine Waters said that she looked around outside her high security area and saw no violence and no riots. Yeah, on the one city block she was at, she was nowhere near the violence. No one is saying the violence is on every single street. No one is saying it's on every single nook and cranny of Los Angeles. What we are saying is that, yeah, just like the Chaz and the Chop, these people are taking over large sections of the city, and they're rioting and booting and looting. Usually at the intersections where, you know, the police and La Migra are trying to show up and get their pinga chingad. But they keep on telling you, no, everything is under control. They say, and Trump doesn't have a right to bring in the National Guard. Yes, he does. So you can sue him all you want, and then it's going to go right to the Supreme Court, and they're going to say, yeah, no, sorry, he's the commander in chief. Say it with me, everybody. Put it in the chat. Commander in chief with a D. Commander in chief. He is in fact Trump can look right now at Newsom and say, "Chupe me panga su puta madre." He can look right at him and say, chinga me penga puta madre, no, and eat a taco salad and have a good time. It's Friday the 13th. Crap's going to go wrong today. Okay, I've already got text messages from people saying that everything is going crazy with them. I'm like, hey, it's all right. It's superstitious. This could happen to you. Not because it's Friday the 13th, everybody. But make sure you do all the likings and all the postings and do all the free things if you can. And thank you for the support today. We moved the needle today towards that 9.0, but ask me what happens when we get there. After we get to 9.0, then you're allowed to ask what happens. So anti-ICE riders also in New York City, so not just in Los Angeles. It's almost like it's spreading. It's almost like it's planned. It's almost as if the June 14th, that's tomorrow, everybody, the mass rioting and looting and burning and all the other crap that they plan on doing tomorrow, everywhere in the United States, that map got leaked. The no kings, no kangs. They got the no kangs protests they're going to be having. But what? Started by the Baroness of Walmart? Really? The Baroness of Walmart was the one that was saying, let's promote this anti-American action all over the country in all these Democrat strongholds. And I got people looking at me here locally and saying, hey, is it going to happen here? I said, yeah. Yeah, Charleston is a deep blue city. So is Columbia, South Carolina. These things are deep blue. They're going to happen. We had the Black Lives Matter riots downtown Charleston on fucking King Street. I saw a video of a local pretty little white girl, blonde Becky, laughing as she was entering the broken window of an iPhone store. Turns out she was a COC student. She got arrested for doing that and got kicked out of school, and then she was boo-hooing on camera and said that her First Amendment rights were violated. I attended a protest and I got kicked out of school. No, we got you on camera looting an iPhone store with a big old smile on your face like an idiot. Remember, 67% of people will unalive you themselves. 100% of people will turn you into the cops. That's what they found out from the Milgram study. That's why you see all these useful idiot Americans coming out. These are not all illegals. When you think that it's just illegals coming out, you're wrong. It's a huge, huge majority of these people are actually American citizens who are become the useful idiots. That's the Eder-Johns right there. Let's see that again. Both of these a-holes have got the I want to unalive the Jews scarves on, and the cops are like, nope. See, it's mixing of ideologies. It's the intersectionality of the left. The right has it too. There are people on the right, they're like, unalive the Jews, Israel bad, Hitler a good thing, also the world's flat, and Bigfoot is actually an alien, and These are the same people like, Earth's flat. It's the juice. Sovereign's innocent. Are also the same people that are calling Trump a Cheeto Jew now. Cheeto Jew. That's their newest little cutesy little nickname for Trump. That the supposed MAGA patriot people you see over there on places like Gab. I'm telling you how it is over here. There's intersectionality on the left and the right. And I warn people all the time about these same people on the right that call Trump the Cheeto Jew, and they're always calling for extermination of the government, including the president. The same dude that said that the other day, and now also calling Trump a Cheeto Jew. It's just bizarre. So there is intersectionality on both sides. Let's watch this again because I love it. I could watch this on loop. Yeeted, both you and your boyfriend.
Move back! Move back!
That's right. Hem them up. That's right. Body slam them. I want to see. It's John Cena. Ding, 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 ding. I want to see that. That's right. Ding, 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 ding. And that's also resisting arrest. They're doing all the things they shouldn't be doing. Right. Just throw a bike at her. You remember that crap. Oh, that's an older meme for a couple of years ago. Just throw a bike at it. Remember that crap? The Antifa was throwing 10-speed bikes and mountain bikes and shit at cops. Just like, bing, here you go. Here's a bike. Remember that crap? But it was mostly peaceful bike throwing. That's so good. I love it. Absolutely love it. NYPD in LA. NYPD is putting LAPD to shame. Look, this is the New York Police Department saying no. Hemmed up, all still wearing the bitch mask, trying to tell everybody that the bitch mask is there to protect them from the coof. No, they're wearing it to protect their identity so they can continue to get paid thousands a week to come out and write. Yes, we dropped those documents. We showed those documents on Monday. Showing you that these people were paying for protests via Craigslist, just like they did with the Black Lives Matter riots. It's the same organizations behind it with phony, counterfeit Chinese money. This is what they're doing. They're rolling up to areas like this with suitcases of Chinese counterfeit money, and they just hand it out like candy because they know that it's counterfeit. These kids are too stupid to know when they roll it over on the back and they see some red Chinese characters on it. By the time, they don't care. These people are useful idiots. Some of them are not even being paid at all. Most of the people they're paying are the ones that are going to go out there and organize this crap. That was the reason why the George Floyd thing got blew up, was to cover that up. George Floyd was stealing counterfeit Chinese money from the nightclub he was a bouncer at, and the cartel that owned that nightclub with China, by the way, the Chinese influence, there was the China has joined that cartel south of the border because they realize that's a great vector of attack on the United States. They can send what? People across the border that are military age with a grudge against America, like Reconquista La Raza types. People that come in here with all these face tattoos, MS-13, that hates everybody they can get their hands on, wants to spread their influence, criminal organization to traffic children and women and drugs. And then they can also then traffic fentanyl to kill us all chemically as well. George Floyd just happened to get 2 products from China, and one of them killed him. The first product was Chinese counterfeit money, which got the cops called on him. And the second one was the Chinese fucking fentanyl that was in his system that killed him the day that he did this. So that it all ties together. The same Chinese counterfeit money is being used to fund these as well. The same Chinese fucking fentanyl is being sold on the street by the cartels to make money to push this. That's why else do you think they're talking about Reconquista now? Why else do you think they're holding press conferences with a map of how the United States used to look before we had the American-Mexican War, where we conquered that land and we won it fair and square? They're trying to tell you that you're evil, white, and supreme for wanting to live in your house. How many of these liberal white fucks are going to give up their houses anywhere in Nevada, Arizona, Texas, California? How many? None. You damn well know that. None. But if these Democrats get their way and allow the Reconquistas to go crazy, what happens if the Reconquistas actually overtake the Democrats and they actually do have California and all these other states secede from the Union because they were taken over by Mexican nationals and cartels, backed up by the Chinese, by funneling kids and drugs into our country to finance all of this. That would be a real civil war. America trying to reclaim their land from a cartel we let slither in. I know I'm getting deep. I know I'm getting dark. But those are the connections. These are the big moves that are happening behind these little ones. All these little crowds, they're the little moves. They're the most visual, but the big moves are the things that are happening behind closed doors, where they're actually talking about carving up the country and letting the cartels. And China, what better thing for China to do is own several states because they seceded from the United States and were taken back in by Mexico. What better way? Chinese military bases in Nevada, right up against the borders of other states. So California and Texas all taken over by China, military bases all through them. What will we do? How could we stop that? War, and none of us want to see it. But so these visual things you're seeing, these are the little moves. China trying to exploit this, turn this into a civil war. China trying to exploit this, turn this into a reconquista so they can claim land in the United States legally, like the emperor, like Palpatine. I will make it legal. Remember that shit in episode 1? It's almost as if that was prescient. It's almost like that actually was prescient. I will make it legal. This is how they will do it. You better be paying attention. I'm giving you the breadcrumbs because sometimes my red pills are hard to swallow. I mean, I know a lot of times you guys say, how the hell can I swallow this red pill? It's too big. And I'm like, good news. It's a suppository. Because some of these things hurt just as bad to hear. We're being invaded for decades. Since 1965, the Hart-Celler Act set the table to make it impossible for white Europeans to move in here and also open the doors to the Third World. Why? Third World is hostile to the United States by virtue of cultural differences alone, then by propaganda from these people. They get here, confused, not knowing how to use a light switch. They set fire to the carpet because they don't know how to actually start the stove. They're trying to cook their food, a rat that they found on the street. These are the kind of people that are coming here and living in 4-star hotels. They then at the same time tell you that the borders are racist and KKK and all that other crap. They tell you, oh, slavery, I'm a Jim Crow. Then they try to give the libertarians infected with open border policy. Then they get them okay with prostitution. And then they get them okay with child trafficking. And then they get it okay. That's why they're pushing the whole, minor attractive persons narrative. That's why they're trying to push the whole, the trans narrative, because they don't want you to reproduce. I'm telling you, there are big moves that you don't see. The little moves are the Greta Thunbergs out there in the face. Climate change, she's changed that over to, I hate the Jews. That's what she's changed over to. Because all she cares about is personal power. Remember, understanding that we are all susceptible to actually having to suffer from the hierarchy of needs from Maslow, that, yeah, power is one of them. We all have the same capacity to be evil. Evil is your default setting. You need to work to be good. That's what makes being good openly such a powerful thing, because you're working against your nature. That's right. Russ says, wood chipper attracted pedo. I love that. So the things you're seeing in the news, the things you're seeing on the TV, this is the small moves. The big moves is the Reconquista, the destruction of your nation, destruction of the West. That's the big moves. Don't get too distracted by these little things. The arrest of this little dweeb is nothing compared to the people that are sitting, nothing compared to what it would be. This has little impact. But if they're arresting Karen Bass this way, if they're arresting Gavin Newsom this way, if they're arresting all of his handlers this way, if they're arresting all of his financiers this way, if they were shutting down Amy Klobuchar's, nightclub, that was the one that George Floyd was working at, and seizing all the fentanyl, seizing all the children, seizing all the women there, seizing all the money, and then sorting that all out, yeah, then we'd actually have some big moves, some big changes. But these are the small moves. I'm trying to show you how to read the Matrix. I want you to be like Cypher in some ways. Remember, he could like blonde, brunette, redhead, he learned how to read the Matrix code quickly. I want you to be able to read the Matrix code quickly and understanding that these moves here are the distractions. It is distracting the useful idiot just as much as it is distracting you when the bigger moves are actually happening behind the scenes, okay? So yeah, this is important. Here we got confirmed. An illegal alien from Mexico was hiding in Los Angeles after killing a woman and is an MS-13 street gang member. By the way, MS-13 is here, by the way. You know, it's just the way it is. But they're here. It says they took 2 lives during their catalytic converted theft attempt. Okay? Both have been arrested. No help from Gavin Newsom.
The secretary highlighted so many, you see them up here. But we have a wanted man from Mexico who fled and hid in Los Angeles for killing a woman. You have an MS-13 gang member who killed 2 individuals during a botched catalytic converter theft ring case. These aren't the individuals you want in Los Angeles. These aren't the individuals you want in the United States. ICE is going to keep doing their job, and we're going to do it to the best of our ability with our DOJ partners, but with the Secretary's leadership and the full support of the U.S. Attorney to prosecute these criminals, we will continue enforcing the immigration.
That's right. They'll continue doing it without Gavin. F Gavin Newsom. We don't need his blessing, his help. I don't give a damn about his lawsuit, and neither should the court. The president is commander-in-chief. Yeah, the whole thing, that was a bad recording. The people that put the audio together on that was just, I know you said left ear. The recording was mono. It wasn't a stereo recording. That's why it sounded that way, by the way. And y'all remember when all those idiots came out in that suburb and they were screaming at supposedly ICE? Do you remember that crap? Do you remember that crap? And then it turned out that it actually was a DEA and FBI bust. Here's what they seized. Remember that was in Pinal County. Remember that shit? Here's the sheriff, Ross Teeple, saying, all you clown protesters and people that were disrupting us, when you came out to the suburb, when you saw that we were raiding a house, they raided several houses. Turns out those houses were owned by cartel members, gangbangers, who were trafficking fentanyl and illegal weapons and all kinds of stuff. Here we go.
Hey, everyone. Yesterday, my detectives were serving a search warrant on a cartel member where they took all of this drugs off the streets. We've got fentanyl pills. We've got cocaine. We got methamphetamines. We got gun seized from this cartel.
Now, you notice what color the meth is? It's blue.
They took
It's almost as if Breaking Bad was actually a reality TV.
all of this drugs off the streets. We've got fentanyl pills. We've got cocaine. We got methamphetamines. We got gun seized from this cartel member. Here's the crazy part. Some idiots thinking it was an ICE raid came down in protest.
Go home and tell your families what you do for a living.
Yeah, so they go into a neighborhood that's infested with MS-13, infested with cartel members, infested with drug dealers and child traffickers, okay? Murderers, people that will chop your family up into sushi, people that'll chop your family up into sushi just because you disrespected them. And all these a-holes, either part of the neighborhood or they'll call in their friends, and next thing you know, they all come out and they all start what? Interfering. But this is what the operation seized. Same chant you're hearing on the streets of LA. Marshmallow, potato people chants.
Want to protest this not getting off the streets? That's insane. Stay out of Pinal County if you're going to commit crime. And I really want to thank my anti-smuggling unit for this long investigation. This was over a half-a-year investigation where they got 32 pounds of cocaine off the street and 22 pounds of methamphetamines off the street, to include the fentanyl pills. Thanks, guys. You're doing a great job keeping the county safe. Hey, everyone. Yesterday, my detectives were served.
Savage. Absolutely savage. Breaking here. See, the winning is happening. Breaking. 330 illegal aliens were arrested for taking part of the LA riots. No surprise. Like I said, not all of them are illegals. The vast majority of them are actually local liberal white fucks. There are black people that are now speaking out against this. This is great. But also at the same time, the black community is also going out there and looting stores too now. That's also happening too. So there is that. I'm just saying, y'all could do better. You could do a lot better, black community. But all right, so we'll pass that along. Okay, we'll push that aside for a little bit. Okay, all right. But listen here, 330 illegal aliens were caught And 113 of them already have prior criminal convictions. You can't make this up. Here we go.
And I have updates for you on the numbers, by the way. Since June 6th, there have been 330 illegal aliens that have been arrested as part of these riots in Los Angeles. 113 of those illegal aliens had prior criminal convictions. And overall, and this includes arrests of American citizens, there's been 157 people arrested for assault and obstruction-related charges, including the attempted murder of a police officer with a Molotov cocktail. So who is funding these illegal aliens who are coming in with this very professional riot
The Chinese, the drug cartels,
gear? It's a question.
George Soros. It's a tentacle squid monster, like the WEF. You know.
Everyone in this room who cares about truth should be asking, and we encourage your help in trying to get to the bottom of that question. Indina. Thank you.
And yeah, and truth is definitely important to me. I will tell the truth and stay principled, even if it costs me friends and supporters and followers. I prefer to keep my soul and keep my integrity and keep my principles more than clicks and donations can ever make up for that. No amount of virtual clicks and thumbs up can assuage my feeling of being a piece of shit by not being honest and telling the truth. So like when Dan Bongino comes out and reverses himself on two cases that he's been very outspoken about and saying there's no way that Crooks acted alone. Now he says he did. And there's no way that Epstein killed himself. Now he says he did. I'm going to speak out against it. Doesn't mean I hate Dan Bongino. Doesn't mean I hate all of his followers. Doesn't mean I'm anti-Bongino. It just means that I think, hey, let's take a look at the compromat that might have on him. Now, we know we already got compromat from 2011 on him when his brother was involved in a fucking prostitution sting. And he had to resign in disgrace back in 2011 under Obama. That's true. That happened to Bongino. That's still there. At the same time, also, I got an avid investigator that's done some digging, and they say it looks like he also possibly stole someone else's book and passed it off on his own. There's things like that we have to say, look, we have to critique our own side more harshly than we critique the other side. We know the other side's going to lie, cheat, and steal. We know the other side's going to do that. Our side's got to be better than that. And I'm okay with being principled and losing everything. Streaming to nobody because I tell the truth. Even about, people you'd be formally aligned with doing really bad things and passing themselves off as this and that when they're really not. The ultimate grift is to sit there and tell everybody, you need to live by this way because I say so, and then they themselves don't live that way and actually live the opposite of that as they laugh up their sleeve at you, and then make up stories and lies and covers to cover why they're behaving that way. It's bizarre. I can't do that. So you come here for truth. Red pills are hard to swallow because they come with a kernel of dark black pill. I give you the comedy, the giggles. I give you the giggles, even if I do have to laugh in evil sometimes. Even if I have to do that to entertain you so it's easier to go down. It's the cotton candy that I have to wrap around that red pill that has that dark black pill core. I got to do it. Right. And Dakwa says, Greg Foreman of A Black Conservative Perspective talked about the Hispanics asking the blacks to help them. Yeah. He did. And then the blacks are telling, and largely a lot of TikTokers, a lot of black TikTokers and YouTubers are quite literally telling Hispanics, F off, sorry. This is your turn to do your shit. We stood up for our stuff. We went through the fire hoses and the police dogs, and we did all that. And it's your turn to do it if that's what you want to do. But no, we're not going to do it because your asses are taking shit from us too. We're legal citizens. You weren't and aren't. They're talking to all the illegals. Blacks who were born here during slavery times are sorry. They're American citizens. You may not like it. But that's just tough shit. We've been married for 400 years. We have not been married to Mexico for 400 years. We didn't fight Africa and then get slaves as like spoils of war. We fought Mexico and got states as spoils of war. Deal with it. F you and your Reconquista. Our black brothers and sisters and cousins, aunts and uncles are going to be standing up and more doing more conservative perspectives when they realize that their own self-interest is driven. I understand people don't have to agree with every point. You can still go to the barbecue with your cousin you don't like, put your arm around him and tell him that you love him, even though you think he's a dick, and he takes way too many to-go plates when he goes. It's only him living in a one-bedroom apartment, yet he takes 4 to-go plates. That cousin, you know what I mean? So, see, I come with a mixed family, so I have black family members. So people are like, really? Uh-huh, yeah. Y'all that follow me over on my Discord, you get access to my family times. You can see my videos and pictures in there of me and my family. Yeah. You'll have to do that. So at the same time, and yeah, we'll have to disagree on Bongino. I get it, Roxanne, but I still think he has opportunity to do really good things. But he did, in fact, it's irrefutable, indisputable, that he did reverse himself on those two cases, and he does have that compromat he has to deal with, and I think we can help him with the compromat by showing that, well, it was his brother and not him. Yeah, I get it. Maybe it was his ghostwriter that did the whole narrative of the book. Yeah, of course. But I'm not willing just to throw somebody out, the baby with the bathwater, because I disagree on a couple of his moves. It's like, I disagree with some of the things that Trump is doing too, but I'm not anti-Trump. He just came out and said, okay, we're going to pull back our immigration efforts on the farms and on the hotels. So I'm like, and everybody was like, Ree, don't do this, Ree. You know, and so there's people that are calling him the Cheeto Jew because of it. I disagree with that analysis. I say, no, you're not going to like everything. You're not going to like everything Trump does or everything Bongino does. And Bongino is a stranger to you. He's a stranger to me. You don't really know these people behind closed doors. You really don't. You know, you may have been in the studio once or twice and hung out with him, but do you see what happens in his bedroom? You don't. You don't see him at the end of the night. You don't see him at the end of the day. Neither then Trump. We need to stop making these cults of personality and then getting all butthurt when they do things like, hey, it's warp speed, Operation Warp Speed. Look how we all booed him, right? So if it was okay to boo Trump back then for saying warp speed was fantastic, take his shot, we could say fuck you. I could say F you to Dan Bongino when I think that he's got problems on at least a couple of his viewpoints. It's the same logic train. I'm just being principled. Why is Bongino somehow, you can't criticize him. He's sacrosanct. Why? How has he earned that position of never ever? How come he's earned a position to never be criticized, but somehow people are okay with booing at Trump during the Operation Warp Speed speeches he would give? Remember that? Back when he was running? It's just a little curious. Being morally consistent would say I can criticize Bongino up and down, left, right, and sideways and still support him and still believe in him at the same time as I do with Trump. So, talk about holding people to account. We're going to piggyback off of that thought process right here. Nancy Mace is asking, what's a woman? And Tim Walz says, I'm not sure I understand the question. Tim Walz is a governor. He ran for vice president. Why is it okay to criticize him? But, we can't criticize people on our side. That's just silly. I can't wrap my head around that.
What is a woman? What is a woman is the question.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
What is a woman?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can listen to this on loop, and this would never get out of context.
What is a woman is the question.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
He has a look on his face like he can't comprehend. How dare you question me? Ask me a very elementary thing. God. I think some things should just be foundational. Be honest and tell us your opinion, Tim. Stop being so cowed by your ideas. See, this is what happens when you marry yourself. This is what happens when you marry yourself to an ideology. You get hung by your own petard. This is what happens when you're unable to remove yourself or separate yourself from your ideology. You get stuck in these little corners. You get trapped. There are people out there that believe Tim Walz is the most masculine man ever because the media told you so. Because they remember the whole thing? He's so masculine, he can fix a truck. Look at him. Look at him shooting birds. Can't figure out how to load his gun, but look, he's shooting birds. Look at him pretending to fix that truck with that wrench in his hand and be all down homesy. You know, all like Lonesome Dove. Look at him coming off like Chuck Norris. Actually, Chuck Norris is afraid of Tim Walz. That's just the reality of it. No one, including myself, is above criticism. Cult of personalities are built around people like Tim Walz, too. There are people that actually danced for Tim Walz. I'm talking potato, like marshmallow white dudes in tight-fitting clothing, shaking their ass for this guy who wants to put tampons in the boys' bathroom. That's right, Roxanne. That's exactly right. This guy wanted to put tampons in the boys' bathroom, and that's why we call him Tampon Tim. And this guy actually had white men chubby older white men dressing up in Kamala Walsh shirts and dancing to like KC and the Sunshine Band because it sounded like they're saying, you know, Kamala, you know, keep it Kamala love, keep it Kamala love. They actually had been doing that. So understand that the cult of personality is on both sides of the fence. There are not just people that look at Trump as this big cult of personality on the right. And the left says we're in a cult because some people are very cultish. Be mindful that you're not being cultish about other things too. One of those things is what? Saying that people like Dan Bongino can't be criticized. If you say that, you're basically proving the left right. Everyone can be criticized. I like to be morally consistent. That's all. Just be morally consistent. Can we do that? Tim cannot be. He's trapped by his ideology. Tim cannot be morally consistent anymore because he can't tell you that he's having a good, he can't tell you that he has a good thought process because he can't even tell you what a woman is.
What is a woman? What is a woman is the question.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
See, this is what happens when you're trapped by that. I'm asking everybody in my audience, or anyone in the reach of my voice, please do not become trapped by ideology or psychophanty or cult of personality around anyone, whether they're your side or outside. Your side, their side, whatever. It doesn't matter. Being morally consistent does, and that's what helps you remain in a position of clarity. Yeah. And I'm exactly right there, Roxanne. Don't love the person, love the outcome. 100%. Roxanne gets it. 100%. That's right. And we're going to hold him, even Dan Bongino, to his own standard. That is fantastic. Thank you for that, Roxanne. Booyah. That's badass. Thank you, bro. So it says here, American Papa Bear says, just in, a crowd outside the Portland, Oregon ice facility is getting bigger as the sun starts to go down. Again, they're surrounding hotels where there's supposedly ICE and supposedly DHS agents there, American citizens, and now they're also surrounding this Portland, Oregon ICE facility. It's spreading, and these people don't realize they're committing an illegal act.
Thank you so much.
Just insane. Just absolutely insane. That they think that this is acceptable behavior. That they think that this is something that won't be pushed back on. Remember, they're the same people that sit there and did this. The people that are now worried about separating families and also now thinking it's okay to trap you in a hotel, prevent you from leaving, or trap you at your workplace, prevent you from leaving, or keep you out of your workplace. What do they show up in the evening time, surround it so they can then do all the things they do to it, quick cement the doors shut, set the place on ablaze, all the other crap that they've been doing. We saw that in the 2020 Summer of Love. They were quick, dry cementing the doors together and didn't realize that shit takes time and it's quite brittle. It's not set up that way. They're dummies. These people that believe in the Wile E. Coyote school of terrorism. Wile E. Coyote school of terrorism. Clip that, ship it out. We're going to put in a whole new door. Wile E. Coyote school of terrorism. The shit that falls out of my mouth, dude. The same assholes that are telling us now that we're so mean, this for separating family, did this to you when Grandma was in the hospital. Grandma's in the hospital, gonna die alone. And they did this to you during COVID. Remember, these tyrants are only motivated by one thing. One thing. Power. You need to look up Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Power is on the scale. One of the most addictive substances in the entire world that provides most amount of dopamine. Power. Why else do you think alpha males get off on being alpha males? Sometimes we can come off as a dick because we're just enjoying being alpha. Dogs go through it too. That's right. Roxanne says they had 4 years exempt from consequences and now they feel entitled to do anything without it. That's precisely right. And we need to disable the Acme Terror Company, as Newt says. And hey, gotta run, Minnie. That's cool. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate that. Love you. I appreciate that. We're gonna keep on trucking a little bit longer. As long as the numbers stay where they're at. If you guys are gonna keep us in the 20s, you guys are gonna keep us in those high teens. We'll keep on streaming. We'll keep on providing. I got so much stuff to go through. I don't give a damn. I got plenty of time. I got no job. I'm an unemployed guy who's working at McDonald's selling the best damn soft serve. Do not eat the cones. They're made of human skin, allegedly. The best fucking chicken nuggets ever, and the saltiest French fries. That's all I serve. I'm the Kang that I wear my Burger King crown at the McDonald's I work at. Plus I have an ankle monitor on. It's one of those 27-inch CRT ankle monitors, those big old computer monitors from back in the day, from back in the 90s, with the big old backs on them. CRT cathode ray tube. Yeah, I have one of those on there. And it's because I'm a big guy, you got to slow me down. So it's a work release program. I'm a 34-time convicted felon, convicted of felony down duting on Rumble. Yes, I down duted somebody 34 individual. I went to 34 videos and down duted them all one time, and that came out in court. And I was going to go to prison, so they put me on a work release instead. So don't down dude people on Rumble. You may get felony charges like Kang. It's a joke, everybody. Everything I say about all that nonsense is a complete joke. It's just a fiction. We like to laugh here. But there's actually haters out there that believe everything I just said was true. Because they're dumb. All right, so here we go. Jesse Waters says, the LA riots are clearly orchestrated. Well, no duh. And now they got proof, they said. It says, we don't even care about the people that they're claiming to protest for. This thing is being orchestrated. Because money, these people are being paid thousands of dollars a week, Chinese counterfeit money, to actually do that. To come out there and do that. These are useful idiots, and that's also paid idiots. I mean, money equals power to a lot of these people. Here we go.
The bottom line is they don't care about the American people. They don't even care about the people that they're claiming to protest for. So many of them are paid protesters. This thing is being orchestrated, obviously, in many ways. And ultimately, President Trump is the one who took action to keep the American people safe and try to bring peace back to the streets that these rioters are destroying. The bottom line is they don't care about the American people. They don't even care about the people that they're...
Yes, these are being orchestrated. We're going to follow the money, go to Craigslist, find out who posted it, because those are the people that, they're probably going to use a proxy to do it. Like I said, who knows how they're going to do it. There's many layers to this onion, but the reality is that these are not organic. They're all waving Mexican flags out there, blocking the highways, et cetera, committing illegal acts, attacking ICE, blocking them into their offices, blocking them out of their offices, throwing bricks off overpasses at them, fireworks. They're going into hotels and accosting hotel goers because they heard a rumor that DHS or ICE was there. They arrested that asshole who was actually doxing the ICE locations and where they were staying at. LA Scanner was his X profile. He was a far leftist retard. And he got counter doxed. Just almost like doxing the people that have doxed you, and then started threatening you with murder, attacking your business and your family. It's almost as if that was justice when they got counter doxed. It's like, that's what Jeremy the Quartering said. Jeremy said flat out. He said, look, I don't like doxing at all, but hey, when people get counter doxed for doing horrible shit like this and putting these agents at risk, fuck them. I don't care. I agree with him. When someone crosses the line with you and says, I know who you are and where you live and we're going to do horrible things to you, and then they start all these threats of doing these horrible things to you, I think it would behoove you to find out who these people are. It's your right to do that. Self-defense. Yeah. Roxon says, hate to go, but I check out. Thank you for the great content. And thank you for coming. And I hope to see you. I hope I've earned a follow and unearned a return. I do it. The show, again, we do the bookend shows Monday and Friday, 9 a.m. And we do the Tuesday, Thursday show, 7:30 p.m. The Tuesday, Thursday shows are typically 3 hours long. The Monday and Friday can go between 1 to 2 hours, depending on how I'm feeling. We're still cooking with fucking gas right now. We're still cooking with power. We're using Nintendo power, Super Nintendos. We run this stream. I actually didn't go out and get a new laptop. That was a fib I told. I want to make you guys think I had money. I don't. I actually got 4 Super Nintendos strung together with a couple of Game Boys, and that's my new system. That's why my stream runs the way it does. It's Nintendo power. Super Nintendo power. So I got 4 Super Nintendos and 2 Game Boys strapped together to create this stream, so I hope you enjoy it. That's why my camera doesn't work anymore, because the Game Boy camera is trash. Thank you all for the support. Here's Karen Bass. Again, performative nonsense out here. There's a pressure washer behind them that they had been using. She says, no, stop. Stop using the effective tool of the white man. Yeah, Russ knows where I live. He's going to come and get me one day. Russ is actually my Siamese twin. We're conjoined. We are conjoined. Yeah. Should have went mod retro. Yeah, I got a Sega Saturn that's got a mod chip in it. I'm thinking about adding that to the machinery, the machina, the machinations I have over here to run this. And maybe like an electric toothbrush to add that to it. Fridge is in the house. Good to see you, sweetheart. Hope you and Astro, our based Albertas, are good and safe and secure. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in, Fringe. But yeah, I might have to actually find a Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy 64 or whatever and strap it onto my system here. It would be just as credible, just as useful as Karen Bass, who's trying to clean graffiti by hand wiping it when there's a pressure washer behind her. She had to tell them, stop. See, there's pressure wash all over the ground. They were already doing that. And she says, no, let me get this photo up of me with these gloves on like I'm a regular person, like I'm not a lizard peepo. Like she's not a black revolutionary who was involved in the bombing of a Capitol building at some point. Yeah. Rock. We can do here. Karen Bass. Bombing ties. See if Grok will come back up with it. It says ties to the bombing incidents, association with individuals involved in the bombings. Karen Bass has been linked to individuals who were part of radical groups during the 70s and 80s, a period marked by significant political activism and in some cases violent actions like bombings. One notable association is the member of the Black Panther Party, which is another far radical left-wing groups. Specifically, there have been reports and allegations connecting her to these individuals involved and suspected in involvement of the bombing incidents during that era. These connections are often cited by critics. So, yeah. Thank you, Grok. We appreciate. So this same here, this person with ties to the Black Panthers, the same ties to the radical communist revolutionaries. Do you know that the Black Power salute? It's a left clenched salute with the palm facing you with the fingers curled down. That's very specifically composed. They're not just putting their fist up. If they were to show you that they're going to punch you, they put their fist up with their knuckles facing you. This is actually a red salute. It's a salute that communists have done around the world. It's the left hand. It's the finger, the palms facing forward, the fingers curled up. That's what it's showing. It's showing you that they are a intersection, the palm, the left hand, left wing, and all the different fingers are all different aspects of leftism, communism, and Marxism. That's who this is. This performative nonsense won't fool us. And Russ says, yeah, let Tina and Regina know that Tuesday night be ladies' night. We're at the Ass Wash Emporium. They can play video games, smoke weed, and wash their pussy in the sink. That's right. Thank you for that bot's got to get updated, so I got to try to update that bot. That's got to remember. I got to get my login. I'm still piecing things together from the old crash of 2025. The crash of late May 2025. The crash of early June 2025. So we'll have to get back into the Rebel Bat at some point in the future. So we'll keep on scrolling here because numbers are looking good. Holy smokes, New York. Kathy Hochul admits that she doesn't keep track of how many illegals are interstate or how much taxpayer money is being given to them. It's like they're telling you the quiet part out loud. They just don't understand. They're so used to being corrupt. They're so used to being supported by a corrupt system that they think they just can simply tell you what they've been doing the whole time, how incompetent they are.
$1 billion. I appreciated that very much. What we spend on immigrants, the immigrants who are here hardworking to live a life and working on our farms and taking care of our parents in nursing homes and taking care of our children, They have been coming here for 400 years. And we don't keep track of individuals based on their status. We make sure that people have services so we don't end up with an unexpected.
So essentially what you're telling me is that you keep no track of money that is going to people who are not legal in the United States, resources that are taken away from New Yorkers, resources that are taken away from Illinoisans. You guys do not keep track of any of this.
You know what's really challenging is that many people came here with legal status. I mean, temporary protective status, 300,000.
Do you
all of a sudden they wake up one day and it's
do
gone.
you go along with the strategy from the Biden administration, which massively expanded immigration protocols that overwhelmed your city and overwhelmed your state? Do you agree with that?
We call for secure borders. We call for this body to
I never
do its
remember
job.
you calling for secure borders at
Nope,
all, Governor
we
Hochul.
certainly have.
That
We
doesn't-
I've never heard her say that too. She just got called out by a base black patriot. It's almost as if people are not monoliths and that you need to start holding individuals account. Just because someone is part of a group doesn't mean that they can use that group as a shield for criticism. Just because somebody has said a lot of great things in the past, if they say something stupid now, I mean, look, Candace Owens used to say a lot of great things I really appreciated. And then she went all like, my Jews, my flat earth, ooh, dinosaurs aren't real, ooh. She went all that. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I can't support her anymore. Why is that a shock? Why is that a shock to people that I would actually have principles and say, yeah, I can only follow someone so far. I can only go down a path with someone so far. It's weird how people say, we're going to break with you because you have an opinion that's different than mine. I'm like, well, is my opinion, is it toxic? And is my opinion leading to harm? No, you criticize someone I like. Okay. Did that cause you harm? I'm sorry. You sound like a snowflake to me. You don't have a right to an opinion about someone I like. Yeah, I do. Did they do something harmful or toxic? Oh, Candace Owens did. She's trying to convince people of falsehoods, that it's Jews that are hiding the shape of the earth, claiming it's flat, we live under a dome, and that the world's only 6,000 years old and dinosaurs aren't real. All of those are lies. Why would I get behind that? That's right. MAGA is a big tent. Snowflakes can quiet down. There are a lot of snowflakes in MAGA town. There's a lot of leftoids LARPing as MAGA people, too, to cause problems and infighting. There's a lot of intersectionality in MAGA as well, of people that are like, it's for Jews and Hitler and flat earth and all the other sovereign citizen and all the other crap. There are people that call themselves MAGA that call Donald Trump a Cheeto Jew. I shit you not. I can show you the screenshots. But yeah, we shouldn't fall into she seems like a psyop. No. She seems like just a regular person who got some bad information and is thinking that she's got esoteric stuff. People love thinking that they have esoteric knowledge. People love believing that it's the Matrix and they're Neo. People love to believe that crap. And you're not. That's when you've got narcissism problems. That's when you've got you're the main character syndrome. That's what happens. She got some fame and now she's got main character syndrome. Same thing happened to Owen Benjamin. Owen Benjamin used to be on Steven fucking Crowder, but then went Jews, went flat earth. He did all the same things. And look what happened to him. Now he lives out in Montana or some shit like that, raising sheep. He's a fucking total trash loser, talking about put his finger in his butt whenever he jacked off to make it feel better. Those are things he said. I didn't make that up. Those are things he said. After he said Jews, after he said flat earth, after he said 6,000-year-old planet. Fuck off. People can destroy themselves with their shit behavior and their shit opinions. Now he can come out and say, I was wrong about all that, and I'm sorry, and he can be redeemed. Just saying. So just because he was on Steven Crowder, some of you may not be remember that, but look it up. Owen Benjamin was in fact on Steven Crowder and was one of the regulars there. Just like Dave Landau and all the rest. And people have negative opinions about Steven Crowder, about how him and his wife's relationship fell apart and how that all became public. All that was trash behavior. But Steven's done a lot of really good things too. It's all about nuance, bro. And I don't believe in I believe in cults of personality are real, and I think people can get trapped by that. I just don't believe in following any cult of personality. Don't follow me. I'm not a cult personality. I'm a regular dude with a fucking paper crown on my fucking head, acting like a fucking retard on the internet, having a good time, and trying to red pill some people. Get them to wake up. I'm also trying to help them be morally and fucking morally consistent and principled. When someone does something that you morally object to, speak up. Even if they're your best friend. Even if they're your best friend. Your best friend comes to you and says, I want to start banging my neighbor's wife. You know what you say to him? Don't do that. I don't want to get involved in that. That always leads to bad stuff, leads to ruin. Don't do that. What would you say? No, I hope you keep that secret. No, fuck that. No. What if your best friend came to you and said, hey, dude, I want to gift you something, but I need you to pay for the shipping. It's $50. And you're like, I don't know. I don't like the way that kind of sounds. And then he comes back to you a few weeks later and says, hey, you still want that guitar? And you're like, I don't know. Well, it's $100 now for shipping. And you're like, what? Went up from 50 to 100? Just a matter of 2 or 3 weeks? And then he calls you back again a couple weeks later and says, hey, that guitar's still sitting in my shop. If you want that guitar, it's going to be $200 for shipping. Is that person, do you still think they're trustworthy? You went from, it's 50 for shipping to 100 for shipping to 200 for shipping over a period of about maybe 2 months. The shipping cost increased that much. Or would you not get the hint that maybe he's not so friendly after all? Maybe he's revealing himself to be somebody that you really shouldn't have trusted in the fucking first place. I'm just asking questions. Would you not object to that? Or would you let yourself be suckered into saying, here's $200, sure. Would you? Would you? Especially when you've been generous to your friend in the past. You needed money for something, you gave it to him. You know, you got the records to show that. It's just weird. Be careful. Like I said, don't fall into cults of personality, and don't worry about psychophan. Don't become a psychophant. Not for Trump, not for Bongino, not for anyone else. Other podcasters, whoever it is. Salty Cracker, I don't give a shit. You know? Steven Crowder, don't care. Sorry. Tim Pool, I got things I disagree with him on, and it's okay. It's okay. I talked to you guys how I don't like, King Beanie's sometimes David Koresh kind of behavior. You know? Adam Quigley had a lot to say about that, by the way. He sure as hell did. So anyhow, talk about shit behavior. Here we go. Terrence K. Williams drops this amazing thing about these two white liberal white fucks. It looks like an Asian woman. This, trying to stop a black woman from going to work because they decide that their protests and their feelings being gaslit by the media. Their feelings are more important. Their feelings are more important than this woman going to church. Going to work. Here we go. And these people are having their children. She's trying to get to work. And these people are saying these children are having their children taken. These people are having their children. Really? Like a bunch of children have been abducted and absconded with by the Trump camp? Like the Trump camp? Really?
My kid. Look at this. That's what happens to my kid. But you can if you could just move off peaceful protest if there's nothing to do. No, it's not. How do you as white people feel about stopping a black woman from going to work?
Oh no, not work.
Oh no, not work. See, this guy does not have a job. This guy can go, oh no, not work. And now this woman did play a race card. How do you feel about being a white person stopping a black person from going to work? Yeah, there was a race card played. I don't like that, but I get it. You have to use the left's tactics against them. Use their own cards. Look, the left comes with a deck of oppression cards, where there's a deck of their rights to do things to you. That's the world. They believe they have rights. None of us have rights. We have negative rights. That's why the Ten Commandments is written as thou shalt nots. That's why the Constitution is written thou shalt not. Because negative rights exist. Real rights don't. You do not have the right to rob, rape, kill, shoot, loot, burn. I have the right to not have that happen to me. By virtue of you not having the right to do that. So we don't have positive rights. See how it sounds stupid to say, I have the right not to be killed. Why would you say that? Everyone knows you have an intrinsic right not to be murdered. Everyone knows that you have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life is the first thing. Liberty. They're infringing on her liberty right here. Her liberty to move. And the pursuit of happiness. She wants to go to work so she can pursue her happiness in her life. Work equals resource. Resource equals supply. This guy doesn't work, so he's got the evil. He looks like the Green Goblin, like Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin from Spider-Man. Shut me out, will you? That's what he looks like. This goblin wearing green, no less. This goblin wearing green, no less. See the green he's wearing? Thinks that this black woman does not have a right to go to work and earn a living to support her family, while they try to shame her and say, these people are getting their children taken. Are they? Which people? Is there anybody on the street standing behind them that actually had ICE come and take their kid away? Remember, they had the narrative, oh my God, they're going to take all these kids with cancer. They're deporting children with cancer. No, there are children in hospitals with cancer that are illegals, who are the children of illegals, and then those illegals who are not supposed to be here finally get arrested by ICE, and they say, of course I'm going to take my child with me. Instead of separating my family, they decide, no, we'll deport you together. They asked the parent, do you want them to stay here and get the care they need? No, I want to take them with me. Then fine. That's the mom's fault. A, for breaking the law and coming here illegally, and B, for saying, I want them to come with me. Come at me. Be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. I think thoroughly about the things that I say. I think thoroughly about my positions. I remain principled even if it costs me everything. If I lose every single chatter, every single viewer, and every single follower because I remain principled, I'm okay with that. If I lose collaborations with people because I can't participate with some of the things that I see them doing, I'm okay with that. I will remain principled. And so should you. This Green Goblin guy doesn't have principles. Work. Look at him smugly laughing. It's just, I gotta go to work.
Peaceful protest if there's nothing to do. No, it's not. How do you as white people feel about stopping a black woman from going to work?
Oh no, not work.
That Green Goblin is looking at her like, how dare you have feelings about wanting to go out and take care of you and your family? Really? This is the world we live in. These people are trapped by their own ideology. They're hung by their own petard. And then when consequences like this come for them, they cry foul. An anti-agitator was taken down and arrested by the National Guard as Day 6 of Los Angeles riots violently continue. Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass all said there's no riots, no burning, no looting, nothing happening. Everything is out of order. Look at all the graffiti all over the place. Look at all these soldiers that have to come out and deal with this. But they're telling you, no, none of this is happening. Don't believe your lying eyes. Believe their narrative. And that's one thing I really despise. When people actually present a narrative that they know is a lie to cover up something else they did that they know is wrong, and they're trying to avoid criticism, I despise that. And also they engage in behavior that's counter to what they say they're really about. It's just weird. It's just a little weird.
Get back! Back! Get back! Get back! Back! Here!
More of this, even if you have to pick them off one at a time. I'm perfectly okay with that. Perfectly okay with that. Perfectly okay. They're paying people $200 in New York City to protest ICE. This guy's coming forward and says, I was offered $200. Here we go.
I just got offered $200 to go protest ICE right here in New York City. There's an organization called the Kings. Basically, on June 14, they're going to have a big protest. They're recruiting people, telling you people where they got to go, what streets to be in. They're also going to be delivering bricks in case they have to defend themselves. The craziest part is they said if you get arrested...
They're delivering bricks in case they have to defend themselves. Look, if someone delivers bricks to a street corner, it's not there for you to defend yourself with. It's there for you to break windows and attack people with. Those are weapons being dropped off. That's not an active defense. That's absurd. But all right, we'll let him say.
You will be provided with a lawyer free of charge to get you out of jail. Like, this is insane. Now, since I'm Latino, they probably saw me as an easy target, mostly going after Latinos like me. But what they don't know is that I'm a legal immigrant here, and I would not sell on my country for...
Yeah, he's got an American t-shirt on, everybody.
For $200.
American flag t-shirt. I'm surprised they approached him wearing an American flag shirt.
I'm not selling my country for any amount because this country has given me so much to me and my family.
What do you know? He said, what did he just say? Listen.
After Latinos like me, but what they don't know is that I'm a legal immigrant here, and I would not sell on my country for $200. Actually, I'm not selling my...
Interesting. He says 200. It's like weird. It's like the number 200 came up earlier in the stream today, didn't it? I didn't know he said that. what a weird way that the universe points and says, yeah, there you go, Kang. He's saying he's principled. He wouldn't take money because he puts his principles above his greed. We're all greedy. It's just, can your principles override your default setting of evil? Can you do that? And he did. Congrats to him. That's why doing the right thing is hard, even when no one is looking. You still do it anyway.
Country for any amount, because this country has given me so much to me and my family. There's no way I'm going to sell out. But think about all the people who need the money right now and taking the bait, you know, to go protest. This is some scary crap.
Why else do you think that they destroyed the economy before Joseph Piss Pants Potato Biden left? Why else do you think they let a dementia potato ostensibly lead the country? Why else do you think that they put a dementia potato as the front man so that they could go behind him and wreck the country's economy to get people desperate? Just like in 2020, they wrecked the economy to get people desperate so they would consider taking cash money. Even if they don't believe in this, even if they believe in the opposite, taking cash money and putting a mask on so your neighbors won't know who you are, and then throwing bricks and Molotovs at cops and things like that when you know you normally wouldn't have done it. Like that blonde Becky I talked about on the fucking Meeting Street Apple store during the Black Lives Matter riot. She had no reason to do that, but she got arrested, kicked out of school, and she's boo, boo, boo. These people are convinced to get caught up in the moment. And if you can create conditions to where more people will feel compelled because they're desperate for money, and they also are desperate for meaning in their lives, they will more easily be caught up in the Becky going through the Apple store window with a smile on her face moment, and then have the consequences come around and swim up and bite them on the ass like the shark in Jaws. Don't line up to be a hot lunch for these people. And this guy, good, resisted that. That's great. So it's just another aspect. Remember, the little things are the things you're seeing on camera, the riots and all that stuff. The big stuff was the economy being ruined so they can create the conditions because they knew Donald Trump was going to get back in. They knew that. All their polling indicated that. All their data indicated that. That's why they do this quickly, of a wrecking job of this country as it could. Quickly putting in demo charges and blowing them up as quickly as they could. They knew they had to do that. They had to do that. They needed to do that. There was a goal to do that so that they can create these conditions to allow people to then be horned in by their need for cash to make ends meet. And they'll go out, and you'll see people that probably voted for Trump go out and do this just because they're desperate for the money. It can happen, and it probably will. So good on him for resisting this. So this is why I'm going to leave this on a good note, showing you this is not a racial thing. Stop thinking of racism as a monolith. This guy is a Mexican-American who came here legally, and he said these people approached him because they racially profiled him and thought that he would be down with being anti-Trump, and he said, no, I'm not taking money. F that.
I mean, the fact that you have to pay people to go protest is insane, and people are going to fall for it because people do need the money. What do you guys think about this crazy scam? And did I do the right thing by refusing to sell out my country? Please.
You did, and I'm proud of him. That's going to be the end note of the show today. That's going to be the last thing said on that, because there is hope. But if there's people like this out here who refuse to take the money and are still remaining pro-America, that's hope. He doesn't even have to vote Trump. It's just that he's pro-America. That's all we care about. He's pro-America. That's all we care about. And that's the thing that I want everyone else to realize. Everybody out there has the potential to be evil. Even the people that you've known and loved and watched and trusted for years and years and years, or they might be in your personal life. Stay principled, my friends, even if it costs you everything. Take care, everybody. I'll be back again on Monday. Now, I'll probably do a gaming stream on Sunday, because gaming streams on Sunday seem to be where it's at. I'm going to try to do another gaming stream on Sunday. So enjoy. God bless. Enjoy this stinger. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Love your friends, Russ, and everyone else is in the chat. Thank you, Newt, for moderating. Thank you, Newt, for producing. Take care, everybody. Red Pill Fuck Love out.
Welcome to the club where shadows play, where the Reaper Horde steps in the fray. Kang's the name, I run this game. Laughs and truth, they're one and the same. Red pills will flow like rivers tonight. Comedy cut sharp while we ignite. Games and beats, the room will shake. You came for the truth, now stay wide awake. Masked with riddles but realer than real. Breaking down walls that they try to conceal. Fists in the air, let it all roar. This is the fight you've been waiting for. Red pills will flow like rivers tonight. Comedy cut sharp while we ignite. Games and beats, the room will shake. You came for the truth, now stay wide awake. Music booms, the horde aligns. Question it all, we're breaking confines. Laughter and heat, on this we thrive. In this fight club, we all come alive. Lord Kang rides in, the mic in my hand. Truth is our weapon, we make a stand. Leave your mask, bring your soul. This is the place where you lose control. Lord Kang rides in, the mic in my hand. Truth is our weapon, we make a stand. Leave your mask, bring your soul. This is the place where you lose control.